Okay, we're going to cover the orb shooting clip that ran 2:45, and I only covered a small portion yesterday. We got 7 days to the vernal equinox. That's a day of balance. Also, I'm actively looking for a sponsor so that I can continue to do this at the level that I'm doing it. If anyone is interested, or if you know anyone, please have them contact me. In this clip, I'm going to try to show the parts that I did not show yesterday and attempt to give you a better view of the shooting object and also put it into perspective, and that's where we're going to start here today. As fate would have it, there's two turkey vultures that we see all the time that are in a clip with an orb. My guess is they're about half as high as the orbs, and as you can see by this guy on the bottom, they get about 6.5 feet wide. I think the ones that we see are probably around 6 feet wingspan. On the right are the two turkey vultures. On the left is the orb, which is, I'm guessing, and I'm not really sure, but I think about twice as high as the birds are. I'm going to zoom in on these so you can see them from the original clip, and then I'm going to composite them together and zoom in so we can get a sense of how big the orb might be. Here comes the birds, and I did look at these guys through binos, I always do, and I'm guessing a good guess is 6 foot wingspan. They're very big. So here's the orb composited in with them at the right perspective and then zoomed in. These things must be a lot bigger than I thought they were. I mean, if these birds got a 6 foot wingspan and they're half as high as that orb, who knows? I mean, are these orbs 10 feet in diameter, 6 feet? I don't know, but they're bigger than I thought they were. Okay, here's the cotton junk, and I'm going to zoom in. This stuff was falling out of the sky everywhere. It's the first time we've seen this. I've seen plenty of video where people have shown it. I'll zoom in here. We didn't see any on the ground or in the trees. It was like blowing horizontally. It would come down to almost the ground, then blow horizontally. So this junk is just falling everywhere. I wish I could have collected some, but we just didn't see it laying around. And this is the first day that we've seen just the volume of stuff falling out of the air. We've never seen it before. Okay, we're going to take a look at the skyfish, or that's what I'm calling them, because they zoom around all in this clip, and I've never seen those before this day's shoot either. Here he comes. This is full speed, true color, and I'll zoom in and get a better look. They remind me of a flagella. If you remember your junior high school biology, they look like they have like a string tail, like a flagella, and they look like they're flying through the sky, and you can't really see the tail on this one, but I didn't want to load a whole new clip into this project, so I may do that on a different one. Okay, so now we're back to the clip where the orb was shooting, and it ran 2 minutes 45 seconds, and there is just so much going on here. The thing's going straight down quickly, I believe, are the skyfish. Like there's one going right there. You can see the insects, which are closer to me, and you can distinguish. And then on top of that, this cottony junk is blowing all around. There's a skyfish going straight down. There's another one. They're just everywhere, and like I said, we've never seen these before, so it was just kind of an unusual day. The insects seemed to be out in force, and then there was a ton of birds that came through frame, probably chasing the insects. There to the right, that's the orb that's going to shoot. So you can tell where I cut the last clip yesterday. Here he is headed towards the chemtrail, and that is the little orb that's going to fire his little gun or beam or whatever it is. And there's just so much going on. Okay, on the left of frame there, that's a spider web. Don't be fooled. It's nothing else. It fooled me for a while, but then I realized that little shine in the lower left corner is a spider web. Nothing of interest. So here in a second, I'm going to zoom in and start tracking this firing orb as he goes into the cloud. And I'm going to try to do a few things with color to bring a little more dimension into it than I did yesterday. Yesterday when I sat down to edit, I didn't realize what I was going to get, so I've tried my best to do a better visual view, and I've also discovered that the thing he shoots goes further, and you'll see a circle pop up here. That's where the actual object that he fires goes. So look at the red circle. That's where the object hits. Now on all these replays, watch where the thing goes, and you'll see it lights up the cloud. In inverted color you can see it, and I run it a few times here trying to get the view of what it's hitting. In a couple of the views, it lights up like in two places, like in this one. I don't know how this one will code, but you can see it lights up in two places whatever it is he hits in there. And I think I have one more. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so this one's gonna, it's not zoomed in as much. There's the shot. There's where the cloud lights up. And then he's going to shoot again down, as you saw in yesterday's clip. I'm going to run this just a couple times with a better view because I didn't do so well yesterday. The thing he's shooting is almost invisible, so I run it forwards and backwards here a couple times so you can see that that energy or beam or whatever it is coming from the little object. It's going quite a distance, but it goes out of frame, so I don't know where it goes. Okay, here's an orb coming in. It's in the chemtrail, and it meets up. That's the other orb that just fired right there down below. And so I'm just following him off so you can see what he did. I cut the clip yesterday. You can see that he just traveled along until he blinked out. There's another orb right now in the chemtrail to the right of him. You can see him. He's just maybe a sixth of the way in, and you'll start to see him here. He comes right to the edge, and then he pokes out of the chemtrail, and they both just kind of drift along together. And right after this, you're going to get one view of a black disk. It's going to come in from the upper right. It'll be circled, but it's so hard to see that I tried to zoom. I tried to do all color inversion. You just don't see it very well. So just track the circle and know that it's a little black disky looking thing. Here it comes. Upper right, and there he goes along. And unfortunately, everything I tried to do with that didn't really help the view. Anyhow, there's most of the 2-minute 45-second clip of the orb that fires. Cheers.